Before the Great War, as the Sino-American conflict continued to threaten a nuclear outcome, many Americans started investing into some form of nuclear defense. Whether this was a root cellar, an application to the government's new fallout shelters, or even other miscellaneous secured locations, Americans wanted to ensure safety for their families. This is the tale of one family. Alex Keller, a U.S. National Guardsman stationed in downtown D.C., calls his sister Tina. The call is recorded and part of a series of holotapes that tell the story of the Keller family. Through their story, we get a sense of the time leading up to the start of the Great War and the end of the world as we know it.
Tina, it's me, your brother, Alex. Listen, Mom would kill me if she knew I was contacting you, but she's being an impossible bitch right now. You have to come home. Do you understand me? This thing with China, it's not going away. We're gonna try and get into one of those vaults. If that doesn't work, well, I have a backup plan. There's this secure bunker, another sort of vault, inside the National Guard depot, and look, no matter what it takes, the whole damn Keller family's gonna ride this storm out, but you've got to get your ass home, now.
While the first tape appears to just be a peek into the life and interactions between two family members, the next four paint a picture of dysfunction, heartbreak, and unexpectedly, freedom. Tina, ready to come home and spend the nuclear apocalypse safe with her family, leaves a message for her boyfriend Paul.
Paul, it's me, Tina. I heard back from my sister Candace. We couldn't get into a vault. 101, 87, didn't matter. All full to capacity. But my brother Alex is a soldier and he sort of stole the passcode for a secure army bunker. He did it for the family, but they caught him. Before they took him into custody, Alex, he sent us each one number of the 4-digit code. That way we all have to be together to get in. He gave me number 5, the day of my birth. So, I guess what I'm saying is, I'm still leaving. It's been fun. Kind of. Oh, and I'm not pregnant, so no worries.
Unable to get into one of the US government's fallout shelters, Alex took the matter of protecting his family into his own hands, stealing a passcode for an Army Depot bunker. Unfortunately, he was caught after distributing select members a single digit of the code and taken into custody. Skip ahead to late October 2077. The Sino-American War has come to an end, but the Great War has just begun. The first bombs are dropping, and the general population's behavior is split. Some claim it's a cry-wolf situation, and that the sirens are part of a drill. Others are frantically trying to stick to their in-case-of-nuclear war plans. Washington, D.C. was one of the first places hit, and on the morning of October 23, 2077, the Keller family was on their way to a National Guard Army bunker. As the bombs begin to drop, Candace calls her mom.
Mom, it's Candace. Oh my God, it's really happening. I can see the cloud. It's so big. Mom, I'm so scared. I'm heading to the vault now. I'll do whatever I can to get inside. My number of the passcode was 7, right?
At the Army vault, a frustrated father calls his son.
Ralphie, son, this is your father. We can't get into the goddamn vault without you. Get your ass over here now. My 4 is useless without you, boy.
Ralph calls Candace to tell her goodbye.
Candace, it's Ralph. Tell Dad there's no way in hell I'm spending nuclear Armageddon trapped with him in a f***ing closet. You can have my number. It's 6. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a mushroom cloud to walk into. Have a happy Holocaust.
6 people, 5 holotapes, 4 numbers, 1 family. Alex the Guardsman hatches a plan to protect his family from the looming nuclear threat, but gets arrested. Tina, who is living away from the family, leaves her boyfriend to come home. Candace sees the mushroom clouds and heads straight for the National Guard depot. Ralph opts to not spend the rest of his life with his father in a cramped bunker. Mom and Dad make it to the shelter safely. The Keller family is situated. 4 of the 6 members safely made it to the vault, sheltered from the sounds, and more importantly, the horrors of the Great War above. Now, there's not a lot of info on the family's happenings after the Great War. A cut content holotape called Diary of Candace Keller can be found in the game files. The transcript is as follows. Dad just won't listen to a word I say. He keeps leaving the bunker to salvage supplies from the rest of the base. I understand he's bored, cooped up in here, but so are the rest of us. And the bunker is secure. Every time he leaves, he exposes all of us to that damned radiation. After all the effort it took to get us all in here, Dad's willing to throw it all away just because he's a bit antsy. I really hate him sometimes. The Keller father, itching to get out of the boring bunker, makes frequent salvage and supply runs, potentially letting in the harsh atmospheric conditions from nuclear fallout into their secure vault. And that's sort of where the story of the Keller family goes dark. No further communications or information were recorded. The fate of the Kellers is left unknown. That is until a certain former vault dweller does a little snooping. Let's do a bit of a time skip. 200 some odd years later, the lone wanderer is born. On their journey to find their father and restore Project Purity, they may come across a holotape titled Keller Family Transcript. Collecting all 5 gives the lone wanderer enough information to find and get into the vault underneath the National Guard depot. Clearing the facilities of its rogue army robots, you'll eventually gain access into a utility room. Flipping a switch opens a hidden compartment in the floor, leading you into the depot's armory. And lastly, after punching in the passcode acquired from the Keller's holotapes, blast door will open, leading you into the kinda sketchy Keller bunker. It's here where the fate of the Kellers is determined. It appears that Candace's worries about the dangers of her father's scavenging runs was validated. Hidden at the back of the bunker is an illuminated glowing one, Mr. Keller himself. After putting the father out of his misery, you'll find the remains of the 3 other family members, Candace, Tina, and the unnamed mother, now just skeletal figures laying around a pair of bunk beds. It's hard to speculate on what actually happened to the family. The 3 female members being staged on the beds leads me to believe that they were ill or dying, bedridden with some disease or illness. The fact that Mr. Keller turned ghoul offers the idea that the 3 women were dying of radiation sickness, brought on by Mr. Keller's desperate need to go on salvage runs. A father, brought to boredom from the dullness of the safe bunker and unwilling to listen to his daughter's worries, unknowingly brought upon the end of the family, with him paying an enduring price, watching his family perish to an illness and succumbing to the pains of ghoulification himself, eventually going feral, only to be put down 200 years later from a curious explorer. And there you have it, the tale of the Keller family. Have a good rest of your day. Cheers.
Have a happy Holocaust.